Remember a long time ago, serving at the corner store. Been round the corner before. Been serving junkies before. All of my niggas don't go. A lot of my niggas daddy gone. So you know the pressure on. Nigga get wrong, we at your home. Remember a long time ago, serving at the corner store. Been round the corner before. Been serving junkies before. All of my niggas don't go. A lot of my niggas daddy gone. So you know the pressure on. Nigga get wrong, we at your home.
All right. Let's get started. We got a special today. We're talking about some real serious shit. We're going to talk, of course, we're going to have a little foolishness probably toward the end. We're going to get into the craziness surrounding, the craziness surrounding this story. Man, I got a guest in the back, so I don't want to keep y'all waiting too long. So I'm going to intro this by saying, get your drinks ready. If you haven't heard about the shooting death of over in Lake County, tune in tonight. We got all the details, things that I don't even know. I only have questions. I will not pretend to have the answers. I only got questions. I got somebody here who's going to be able to answer plenty of questions because they are living this live in their lives. We got members of the family who, okay, hold on one second. Hold on a second, y'all. We had some technical difficulties, I believe. Yeah, they just got dropped from the back room. Hold on. All right. Oh, no, they're back. Okay. All right. All right. I see you back there. Let me clear this other one that got you on here. Y'all would, all right. Instead of having my guests wait, I'm going to bring them on. And then, I think, let me do this check real quick. Yo, is that you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. How you doing, man? I wanted to play the clip. I had some people asking what was going on. Everyone ain't up on the news of what's going on. I just want to make sure I got you in because you probably your first time using this system and they kick you out. I wanted to kick you out again. So, hell, let me play the clip and then I'm going to leave you on. I'm just going to play the clip for the news for you guys and we're going to roll that news footage right now. So let West 2 give y'all the intro or what's going on here.
Shot and killed a Lake County man. In it, you see deputies tending to Timotheus Reed after responding to 911 reports of a stabbing Sunday. It does not show the shooting itself. West Street's David Jones,
right?
live in Leesburg, where the family is demanding answers. David.
They are the family of 38-year-old Timotheus Reed calling for answers. They say this started as an altercation between Reed and his cousin. They acknowledge Reed had some run-ins with the law in the past, and they say that's why he left the scene as deputies pulled up here in the Montclair neighborhood of Leesburg.
He's bleeding. He's been stabbed in the neck.
It's this call from a bystander to 911 that set off the chain of events, leading to the shooting death of 38-year-old Timotheus Reed.
They didn't call for police, they called for ambulance.
I'm just upset. I can't even grieve because I'm just angry.
Charity Mann is Reed's sister. She says the man the sheriff's office says was reported to them to be stabbed is Reed's cousin.
They were out partying and they got back to where they were and they were just having an argument. You know, and things happened. And after the argument settled down, they called for an ambulance for my cousin's injuries.
One thing the family and sheriff's office agree on is that Reed left the scene. His family says he didn't want to go back to jail.
Yes, he ran. He was out on bond, and he knows, just like anybody else, if you have an encounter with the police, no matter what happened, you just encountered them. They're going to send you back to prison.
We want to know the details and the ins and outs, the logistics of what happened.
They claim Reed was not armed when the deputies shot him. An autopsy confirmed a single gunshot wound to the abdomen. Body cam video shows the moments after the shooting, not what led up to it or the shooting itself. Deputies can be seen working on Reed. LCSO says a knife was found, quote, in proximity to the area where he was shot.
It was a situation with two family members who get into altercations all the time. They've been doing that since they were little children.
We just want answers. I can't even grieve my brother because I'm just angry at the situation. He's a good guy, you know. He had a troubled past, like my father said, but he was a good person. He was starting over. He was getting on his feet. He came down here to find work.
The family says Reed was a father of 5.
He was my baby brother, and I loved him to death.
And this deputy was placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of an investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Meanwhile, WESH 2 is still requesting the body cam video from the shooting itself as well as the moments leading up to it. For now, we're covering Lake County live in Leesburg. David Jones, WESH 2 News.
All right. For those who were wondering what was going on and what we're talking about tonight, that is what we're talking about. Oh, hold on. Let me stop this video on the other thing here. This is something new I'm playing with y'all tonight. I actually had that going live, so keep it off. All right, there we go. Got it off. Baby Kane, what's going on, man?
Shit, cooling. Like,
yeah, I
hello?
know it's unfortunate time for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, like this shit is. Yeah, I'm Timotheus Reed. That is my cousin / brother. Know what I'm saying? Like, that's like
Timotheus Reed.
It always been first cousin. His mom and my mom's are sisters. You feel me? Like,
and the victim
I was like raised with him. Like,
so the reported victim.
That was my brother.
That's your brother. So you a brother.
He wasn't, you know. Yeah, like, and it's so crazy because like this is like it doesn't surprise us that two cousins get into it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like 5 seconds later, if they get into it 5 seconds later, they right back hanging around each other like nothing never happened. Okay. But like it's more shit. Like, what my biggest issue is like this troll dude, like this coming out of nowhere type shit. You feel me? Like, I don't even know who the fuck this dude is. Like, and he said I don't know.
Oh, let me hit him. He having this and this. Let me call him real quick, y'all, and tell him the best way to come back on. This is the second time he got dropped. Let me call him real quick. We're gonna get him back on. This is a little technical difficulty. But yeah, we're speaking with the brother of the victim. Yeah. Hey, just come on back in. Just use the link again. You probably just went through a bad area. Your video was working the first time you came on. And you know, so if you want to come back with the video, you can. It's just that I don't know what happened, how you got dropped, but if you ever get dropped, just come on back in. Just click the link again. All right. Yeah, so all right, so we're gonna have him coming back. We're talking to we'll call him Baby Kane. Shit, I'm gonna call him nigga what he want to be called. He is the brother of the alleged victim which this incident started. To get it to kind of clear it up for you guys, two cousins got into an argument after the club. A bystander, she's a white bystander. She white. White lady called the police and said, "Hey, I think someone been stabbed." She described what the family and people there are describing. That she described the situation wrong and a little more serious than it was. Police showed up. Next thing you know, Tim unfortunately ends up shot by the police. He later died from what they're saying is one gunshot wound. Regina, he said that he is cousins to the guy that died. He is the brother of the victim that the police were responding to. The police responded to someone being stabbed. The someone who was stabbed is Mr. Kane's brother. And he is also cousins with Tim, who passed away. Again, it was two cousins getting into an altercation, and it was reported by a bystander. Matter of fact, I'll bring him back, and he can probably tell you better than I can. Baby Kane, welcome back. Sorry about the drop in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. You can pick up where you left off.
But like I was saying, like this dude just come out of nowhere, and like the way that they say he's organized, I guess, you know what I'm saying, he's moving shit. He didn't even give a chance for the family to even do nothing type shit. But
so you say this dude again? We're talking about this guy right here, Mr. Trolls himself, Mr. FME Polo, correct?
That's him.
Yeah. So the catch. Some people might not be going on. Okay, let me catch him up there. Polo did I'm gonna say unauthorized. I'm talking with a family member here. Something unauthorized and not agreed upon with the whole family, especially the immediate family, as we sit here tonight talking with the brother of the alleged victim and the cousin of the victim who was gunned down by the sheriff's office. And he's claiming that this wasn't an authorized or welcomed invitation.
Let me clear it up because like I didn't know what I'm saying? Me, it's like it's still fresh at like things that I don't know, you feel me? Like I guess I don't know how did he come about, you feel me? Like my issue is like, and I was told like as soon as this shit happened, like people kept telling me like he tried this shit again and had him turning on like the last family, and it's turned into like a big ass shit show type shit, you feel me? Like he's stirring the pot type shit, you feel me?
Yeah,
like
he had an incident before down in Fort Lauderdale, which he turned into a big situation and pretty much went viral and blew up. And now, as you believe, and I believe as well, trying to turn your family's death into more publicity for his Trolls subscription page.
Like, yeah, like, oh, make sure you share this live, this, that. All right, this is my biggest shit. All right, since you saying you did this, you know what I'm saying? All the money that you made from that content, you should just donate it to the family of the victim, right? If you just doing this not for no clout.
Ron, I gotta give you a round
of applause.
Yeah, great point. And that's in the past when he did, and what he's trying to do now. Matter of fact,
donate that.
Here we are. He's asking for donations, food and drink donations here in the name of your family. Was that? Do you know if that was authorized by your family to do something like that?
I think it had. I don't know. I see. Like I said, I guess I'm not supposed to be in the loop. Or you feel me? Like I don't even know. Like that what throws me. You feel me?
But all you know is that you're not for having your cousin and your brother's name and situation being utilized.
Yeah, this throw out there with like this shit ain't facts. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's thrown out that type, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's factual. Like they trying to make my brother like he the one who did all this. You feel me?
Wait,
let alone let's interject.
So he said that it was your brother's fault that the police. I saw you live where you said that he was trying to make it seem that it was your brother's fault that your brother was dead.
Yeah, that's how I felt. You feel me?
Okay, but that is not the case. Go ahead and tell the folks the facts of how that situation ended up going overboard with the police being called and everything.
Yeah, like I don't understand that. Like it's supposed to have been a call for the ambulance. They called for an ambulance. Why is the police being called? Like because you have a frantic white lady calling on the phone at 4-something in the morning. Like that is crazy. Like they know she in a black predominant neighborhood. You feel me? Because of the phone call. So of course. I'm out there looking for some shit. Like this lady said, my brother was stabbed. Like, can you imagine somebody calling you talking about your brother been stabbed in the neck? You waking up and still had to go to work. Think about this shit.
Yeah, because until I heard you speak, I honestly thought that your brother was stabbed in the neck. I didn't get that cleared up until I heard you speak. So a lot of people like me thought that, hey, because I'm thinking, what the guy got stabbed? But you're telling me ain't nobody get stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, and can you imagine being woke up to that, have to go to work? You know what I'm saying? Because like I can't stop life. This game, you feel me? I can't just pause my life. First, like you feel me? Because like if somebody come right now and say, God rest his soul, my cousin and my brother was getting into it, it would been like, all right, it's a normal thing. They've been doing that since I was a baby.
Okay. So to the family, to the family and people to know, it's just a normal argument. These guys always going through.
It's a normal argument.
And because of, like I said, is she a neighbor? Do you guys even know the lady who called?
Nope.
Hello? Oh, you just saying, I think you have a conversation.
Yeah, I gotta go, man. Like, I gotta go.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you coming in, though, man. All right, we're gonna take it from here. Yes. All right, now jump back in if you can. All right, yeah. So just to clear it up for you guys, I had spoke with her earlier. And I'm not gonna call them facts, but it's from a trusted source. Shit, you know. And he even admitted that hold on. Let me hit him back right now. Hold on. He said he'll be coming back, but I'm going to share some details that they were told to me. Yeah, let me go with my notes from when we talked earlier. Okay, so we had a neighbor, white neighbor, called the police. Was actually, I don't know, they called the ambulance, she called the police. I don't know if it was 2911 called the one. I'm unclear. And anyway, the white girl yeasted the situation up more than what it was. Until I heard from the brother and cousin there, I thought someone did get stabbed. You know what I mean? So it was the news still kept it kind of unclear about the facts that there wasn't anyone stabbed. I thought there was a stabbing victim, which I can see not so much the news, but maybe the police leaving that window open, because then it kind of justifies the danger that Tim represented when the officers arrived. So if we take out the fact that there isn't a stabbing victim and you have a dead black man or a dead white man, if you got, especially got a dead black man, but if you take out that that stabbing, that victim, that danger, it becomes even more concerning. So I'm thinking that, I don't know if that was left out purposely or left to be clouded purposely to cloud our minds and cloud our judgment, because it definitely clouded my mind when I was thinking about the officer's reaction in this case. Hold on a second here. Prayers to your family, protect the case in your family. He can make the situation very ugly. Yes, indeed. What he was getting at was that we're going to get into some more of the case in a minute, and he's going to come back. But he really wanted to get on this guy right here. Trolls, FME Polo. I talked about this guy before. I like to call him fraud. Hell, and if you won't go win some hair for $25, you got a $25 raffle going on. This was after. See, and this is the problem the brother has, and the same problem I have. You can see he started talking about this on Sunday, which is less than 2 days ago. And then on the heels of getting you to pay attention to him, he tries to sell you a raffle ticket for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? But calls himself a champion of justice, but really he trying to get you $25. And now one of you bitches gonna get no wigs. I goddamn it, if a bitch show me 3 wigs, quality wigs, goddamn it, I'll buy each one of you hoes an extra goddamn wigs. So if you win that goddamn raffle and get a goddamn wig, I'm gonna buy you motherfucking ass another wig. You know what I mean? Eddie K. Jones, what's going on? Carrie Fenor says, I feel angry because seeing people blindsided by what Polo doing is crazy. Exactly, Carrie. You know what I mean? But Carrie, you know what? Everybody ain't smart. Some people, like I said, Kane, baby Kane, I don't know, what you call him, Kane? Kane was smart enough to instantly see that, you know, hey, nigga, you don't mean my family no good. You know what I'm saying? And I'll play you another video here. He wasn't the only family member who saw through Polo's bullshit. I received this video from the rally.
Bite for you, deputy. Just give me 1 second. Oh, my bad. Where he at? Kane. I ain't gonna bring nobody. Yeah, we talking about some paperwork. He go Kane.
See, he's calling for Kane. As y'all said, I just had, that's Big Kane and that's Baby Kane, as he told me. That's Big Kane right there, the reported stabbing victim. And he is Baby Kane, the little brother, also the cousin of the victim. Yeah, he talked loud and swift. Sometimes, Broward T, ain't about being fooled. It's about giving niggas the benefit of the doubt. And if you give a nigga the benefit of the doubt, I doubt you benefit. Especially a loud talking, ignorant nigga like that, I doubt you benefit. Let me get back to this video.
Come here, Kane. Let me holler at you, Kane. It's Kane.
Now, as you can see, he don't look stabbed. I didn't, like I said, until the brother told me, I didn't realize this is a guy who's just been stabbed in the neck, and the reason the police showed up with guns blazing.
No.
You said I'm making what?
Hey, man, come on, man. Don't mess with my nephew, man. Don't start that bullshit. Don't start that bullshit. Don't start that bullshit. Here, Dan.
Now, right there, the guy, he had that cane in his hand, and he was finna cane that nigga by fucking with Kane. I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah, don't start that bullshit. No, I ain't no James my ass.
We all hurting, y'all.
Don't start that bullshit.
I'm gonna go back to shit. I'm gonna rewind. James say, James my motherfucking ass. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pause right there. Because y'all know Polo, he talk a lot. He actually talk a lot of tough shit too. He talk tough. But when James said, watch that bullshit, it was silence.
I thought I heard a mouse fart.
Yeah, you sound making what?
Hey, man, come on, man. Don't mess with my nephew, man. Don't start that bullshit. Don't start that bullshit. Yeah, don't start that bullshit. Here, Dina. Yeah, don't start that bullshit.
All right, I'm gonna pause right there because I got somebody here. Mary Lee, you probably Polo with a fake page. He got several of those as he keeps track of what others say, including myself and others. So, Mary Lee, we're not obsessed. Mary Lee, we're obsessed with the truth, and actually, I'm obsessed with dumb niggas. Mary Lee, if you believe that shit, you a dumb nigga that I'm obsessed with. I'm just amazed. See, Mary Lee, unlike you, I only grew up around smart people. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my dumb niggas there. I got some niggas that go dumb too. They'll go dumb for me. You know what I mean? But that's not how I was raised. That's not how I came up. That's not how most of my adult life was. So Mary, it perplexes me to see when people fall for simple cons that I see as like when I look at Polo, I see a charlatan. I see an uneducated, shit. Con artist, excuse me, and to me it is clear. So my obsession is with the feeble-mindedness of people like you, Mary Lee. I am obsessed with foolery. Carrie Fenora says, I know Polo felt so embarrassed because he swore Kay was going to chop it up with him and it was not with the social media shit. Yeah, exactly. Then I'm going to go back to James because James and Baby Kane here, like I said, those are real ones who stand on business here in the open and saying, hey, man.
I know James, my ass.
We all hurting, y'all.
Something like that. That was my favorite part.
Oh, man, don't mess with my nephew, man. Don't start that bullshit. Don't start that bullshit. Yeah, don't start that bullshit. Here, Dina. Yeah, don't start that bullshit. No, I ain't no James, my ass.
We all hurting, y'all.
Don't start that bullshit. Start that bullshit.
Yeah, so as you can see, some of the people who are really hurting there in Lake County, Leesburg, are not with the games as Mary Lee seems to think this is a game about being obsessed with Polo. And I guess he has a following who, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not here to judge him by the intellect. And not just talk about you, Mary, or Polo follower. I think I'm smarter than all my followers. They'll tell you that. I think I'm smarter than everybody. Hey, that's probably, I'm saying it's definitely not true, but it can't make me think that. You know, so Mary, if you follow and believe that nigga, I think you're extra dumb. You're at the height of stupidity. You know what I mean? We have a charlatan around here selling hair weaves under the auspices that he's Ben Crump, fucking MLK, Jesse Jackson. I ain't never seen none of them sell hair. I ain't never seen none of them auction off goddamn a 30-inch piece of motherfucking hair. You know what I mean? I'm obsessed with that. I'm also obsessed with the fact that this guy is living a double life. And I knew Polo. I don't really know him. Let me say I knew about Polo before he started doing all this. He was on my show before you became a fan. He was coming on my show trying to get traction to his scams, which I completely shot down. I called him a scammer to his face. I proved that he was a scammer to his face. And then he grabbed hold to the Justice for Dro and fooled fools like you into thinking that he was sent from God and someone who was going to do good and justice. And, you know, he lies about his education. He lies about his criminal past. He even lies about his sexuality. Goddamn it.
He was part of it. He was part of it. The OK game. What is the OK game? That OK shit. What is the OK game?
Now, if you guys remember, I had a guy on from prison who was in prison with Polo. Not this guy in this video right here. This video was sent to me thanks to Zip Clips. And another guy who was in prison who actually showing his face here, saying that he was in the same exact game that the previous gentleman that I brought on, I think his name was Miami Black, the previous gentleman I brought on said he was in the same gang called the what the fuck they just call him? Yeah, I'll let it play. Here we go.
Full of funk.
Hey, what you thinking? This nigga, nah, he said ain't nobody got nothing but lies on him. Nobody got. Hey, they just accusing him. Nobody got facts.
On some real steel though. He know I was there with him. He know I know for a guaranteed fact.
He was fucking boys.
Yeah, you a fucking boy.
Put it on something. Put it on something.
Hey, there you go. See, y'all ain't got to hear from me. Y'all thought that,
put it on something.
That I was lying, or the other guy was lying.
You know what the fuck going on, man.
Okay.
Nigga know what the fuck going on, man.
Hey, so y'all better stay away from that mud pushing ass nigga. You want to get on Facebook with all that fake ass shit, like fake ass bully shit? Stop playing with me, nigga. Cause you nigga know what time it is. I'ma expose your bitch ass every time, nigga. Hey, that's all I need to hear from you boys, man.
Hey, shout out
I appreciate y'all
for that clip. I just because he went on and refuted a number of things I said about him. And that was one of the number one things, you know, his sexuality. You know, anyone knows me knows that I'm a champion of the LGB. I already know all the goddamn initials. Goddamn, I'm with the rainbow goddamn people. I support them 100%. Goddamn it. Fuck who you want to fuck, love who you want to love. However, I am totally against anyone in the closet. I'm against closet thieves. You know what I mean? I'm against closet scammers. I'm against closet drug. I ain't saying I'm against closet drug dealers. You're supposed to be in the closet. These niggas want to be out of the closet. Especially against closet homosexuals. You know what I mean? Now, get your ass. If you want some dick, nigga, get you some dick. If you're a female, you want some pussy, get you some pussy. But don't hide it, especially men. When you go into these prisons and you spend 4-5 years here, like I'm gonna get graphic, packing mud, pushing mud, and then you get out. Hey, you gotta live your truth. He brings up a thing a lot, says transparency. Transparency, the first part of transparency is self-transparency. I don't want to hear anyone speak or try to discover transparency for me if they can't expose and be transparent with themselves. You know what I mean? We have a guy who's marching and saying we need transparency, but they are not transparent. You know what I mean? Not like I said, who a person sleeps with, who they sleep with. But when it's accompanied with sharing shit like this, Mother's Day raffles for $25 right in the mix. I wish I could pull this goddamn page up. The post before this was Justice for Tim Reed. And you post 3 Tim Reed posts, then you say Mother's Day raffle. Tubo, hey, don't forget the Mother's Day raffle. You know what I mean? And then he would have a problem, and some other of his people would have a problem when someone like Mr. Kane gets upset and say, God damn it, nigga, I don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? It is clear that his intentions would be to just gain followers who then he can profit off those followers by making these dumb bitches buy. I don't say bitches because most of them dumb bitches. I don't know too many niggas this do. Hey, ladies, if y'all follow the motherfucker, it ain't my fault, goddamn it. You know, I done did some dumb shit before too, goddamn it. You know, but it was mostly women who were following, because women love gossip, you know. Like I said, they don't mind him speaking before having facts, like the brother here said. He was speaking without facts, accusing. I think his statement was that if the brother hadn't called 911, then he would still be alive. I think that's one of the statements that he made, which was not a factual statement because the brother did not call the police and a neighbor did. And that's originally what made him upset, according to what I was told. All right, Kerry says, causing confusion from Tim Reed to Southern Wigs. Not too long ago, he called himself an OBGYN. Like, how do y'all take him serious? Wow, I didn't know that. Like I said, he blocked me, so I really never followed him anyway, so I wouldn't know what he was for. He didn't have to block me, nigga. I barely pay attention to you. Had not one subscriber before to insert himself in the Justice for Joe movement. Exactly, Broward T. Before he did the whole made up stories, lies, innuendos, just sharing false narratives concerning that Dro thing, and it blew him up because people, Charlamagne God said it the best on the Breakfast Club. People love a good lie. Fuck the truth. They love a good lie when lies are more entertaining. He was telling people entertaining lies. He continues to tell people entertaining lies, as Mr. Kane pointed out, that fuck the facts. You shoot me any rumor, I will get on here, I will yell at the top of my voice, and I'll make it come across as if it is somewhat factual or something that you should take credit. And that is, yes. And then say, I got the receipts and never showed not one single receipt. I got blocked from his page when I said, Polo, show me a receipt, I'll send you $1,000. Because he speaks of receipt. I said, I haven't seen that one receipt. I said, I went through your post you were making, and you just sharing rumors. You know, he blocked me like he's royalty. I don't give a fuck if you block me, nigga. You know, I just wanted to point out that you were talking foolishness. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get back into the case, y'all, in a minute. I'm going into Polo because Mr. Kane came in because he wanted to go in on Polo. We're gonna get to the specifics of the case in just a minute. If you notice his followers, it all makes sense. A bunch of women who can relate to another bitch, Polo. He's very persuasive when it comes to being relatable to women because, you know, hey, Carrie, it's like this. If you can take some dick, you can relate to another motherfucker taking dick. You know what I mean? So they got a lot in common. He got a lot in common with the women. He accused so many people of setting Dro up without any evidence. Exactly, Broward T. And what Mr. James here and Mr. Kane doesn't want to happen in their family's case is that this thing's turned into a social media soap opera like the Justice for Dro incident happened. So anyone who thinking that they don't have a just concern to have this wig peddling punk, this wig peddling person involved in their case, you don't know shit. The family has real concerns. The family are seeking real justice. Let me get to that case. The family has real attorneys. Ben Crump, as has been reported to, let me read some of this shit. Ben Crump has been contacted. I'm not know if he's on this case. I think he might. Hold on, let me see here. Let me see. Let me check bar. Yeah, let me fact check that before I say it. I'm not sure if exactly Ben Crump has been contacted for that case. Let me stop sharing that. That'll help me out there. Okay. Give me a second. I'll pull back up my articles. Yeah, so they have real attorneys. I saw some real community leaders, pastors, men of faith, men of character, men of real transparency who are leading their family through but I said that. Who are leading the family through this hard time. They don't need loudmouth troll, he calls us trolls, champion or speaking on the family's behalf. You know, maybe they got a cousin or two who may follow and say, hey, this is going to be a great thing for us. No, it will not. It may be a great thing for him, which I don't think he's smart enough to capitalize enough to get out of that hotel he's living in, but it would not be a good thing because you're not dealing with a professional. You all right, here we go out Big Crump. You're not dealing with someone who has championed the waters of justice like someone like a Ben Crump or someone like a pastor directly working with the sheriff's department in the community for years. You can't call a guy from Marion County to come into Lake County with no type of professional background in speaking with or handling legal affairs and think that's going to be good for your family situation. It will not, cannot, shall not, it won't happen. It can only hurt you if you can listen to me now, but your ass will believe me later on. Kerry says, child, one time he had the nerve to jump on the Kendrick Johnson case. He was on that case for about a good few hours before he got the fuck on, silly ass nigga. You know what I mean? Kerry, I think he jumped in that case. I think he had a court case up there in Georgia. He got a open trafficking charge in Georgia. He don't like to talk about it. So he probably just jumped on that case because he had court. He had to go up there and speak to the attorney to show up to court. You know what I mean? So that's just my assumption of why that case came and went, because I got to go to Georgia anyway to handle this trafficking charge that's been open since 2022. And I got to go report, do whatever you do when you have a case going on for 4.5 years, and then come back and I need to just start on another case. Chris, you say why? That's the main question. Chris, I'm gonna send you a link. You always add good insight. Let's see if I can get your ass in home. We're actually waiting on the family member to possibly come back. He told me he had to step out for a minute. It was a good reason he had to jump out now. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Yeah, he had to get going. He said he will be coming back when he get back from doing what he got to do. Hey, Black Jesus, send me a goddamn message. I can't find your shit here. Send me a message so I can send you a link and you can join in. Chris, send me a message. I'm gonna send you a link over. I couldn't find your I was typing the wrong shit. That's why. Hold on. We'll get Chris in here. Chris is a firearms expert in training. And matter of fact, as we break down the shooting here, Chris, you can give some insight on police training and things of that nature, and how they're supposed to act with these firearms when arriving to a crime scene. Now we do talk about Pump Polo. Let's get on to the particulars of the case, shall we? Hold on. All right, it says, family and friends of Timotheus Reed, 38, who was shot and killed. Let me bring your ass on in. You niggas good to come in right when I start talking. Hey, what's up, man? Let me give you a round of applause. Let me give you a round of applause, Black Jesus. That's your new name on here. Hey, you got Black Jesus in the building. You know
what's going on, brother?
Chris, let me read this, and I want you to get in. Maybe you can explain to because you are a certified trainer. I don't know your background in law enforcement. We'll get to that in a minute. Family and friends of Timotheus Reed, 38, was shot and killed by Lake County deputies last weekend. Families demanded more answers to the Lake County Sheriff's Office about his death. Family and friends protested outside the Sheriff's Office and inside it on Wednesday. They've retained attorney Ben Crump. The Lake County Sheriff's Office said in a statement to Fox 35, the deputy's body camera was not activated. Oh, that shit just popped off on me. Anyway, they said his goddamn body camera went on.
Apparently he didn't activate it until after the incident.
Explain to us first. You ain't got to tell your background, nigga. Just explain to us how that works.
Yeah, so I'm a firearms instructor, deadly force consultant, security consultant. With the firearms application, I train civilians and law enforcement. And so I pretty much have a great understanding of.
And what's the name of your company, by the way? Because some people might need some firearms training.
Definitely, or if they need security services as well. FTAC Security Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, pretty much I got a good grasp of law enforcement SOPs and things of that nature, and just how use of force works as a deadly force instructor. Um, there's a lot of questions right now. I understand the family's frustration, but what we don't know is, you know, all we know is that a call for service came in, right? And a 911 call came in that apparently, Mr. Reed had allegedly stabbed someone. So this is a stabbing, right? So, and what Lake County is saying is the deputy was in the immediate area and he responded, didn't turn on his lights. So, the body cam didn't pick anything up.
I'm gonna stop you right there. So typically, if the officer don't turn on his lights, the body camera does not activate, or every time they turn on the lights, the body camera automatically activates. How does that work?
Yeah, and you have to. And what people don't understand is there's some agencies that do things differently, right? So, but ideally, the lights are on, body cam and or dash cam will be on as well.
Okay, when the lights are activated.
Correct.
Okay. Right.
So apparently they're saying that he didn't do that. So now we have a deadly use of force situation that occurred. He was, shot once, and they're saying that allegedly there was a knife, in the area. So we don't know. We don't have the statement, right, from the officer who used force. From his perspective, as he was dealing with Mr. Reed, we don't know what transpired. All we do know is that he arrived on scene and one shot was fired. Mr. Reed was struck once and he passed away.
It sounds like to me, you tell me if I'm wrong, are you hinting at the fact that maybe, just maybe, the officer could have been justified in firing that weapon due to the knife, the stabbing, blah, blah, blah?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We don't know what transpired, right? So he arrived, he made contact with him, and then something happened. We don't know if
we gotta boo
you. Listen, in this field, you have to be objective, because again, the call came out as a stabbing, and now we're getting conflicting information, right?
Yeah.
If you watch what the cousin said, and I know how to read between the lines right now, right? What he said was, "Oh, I wasn't hurt." Like, "Oh, he didn't stab me like that," or something similar to those lines. So,
yeah.
"Oh, it was just a nick or something." But we have that. So there was some sort of physical altercation that actually did occur.
The knife.
That involved the knife. So we don't know what transpired after the deputy arrived. What is the behavior of Mr. Reed like? What's his conduct? What's his history? Is he a violent person? Is he not a violent person? Like, there's so many different questions, right? So I can't say it was justified or it was not justified.
They told me to hit the boo button again for you for that one.
And I get it, but you know what? The problem with our community is our community is so emotional. They're not willing to think logically, and they don't understand how the laws work. They don't understand how the processes work, right? And this is why too many times our people are getting jammed up in the criminal justice system when they go do something stupid with a gun, right? And then now they're finding out the hard way. In this field, for those that don't know, this is not an emotional field. You need to be logical. The criminal justice system isn't about how you feel. It's about the laws, the facts, the totality. That's it. The only time you get to talk about how you feel is when you're making your victim impact statement at the end of this whole ordeal.
Yeah, that is true. I understand what you're saying, but like you say, niggas is emotional. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Just like when in court, that's why the judge says, right, when they're you have to have decorum. That's not a place for you to be emotional. And people think that this is how the system works, and it doesn't. Too many people are playing. You know what I'm saying?
Robert C. said he was pew pew in the back, and the laws need to be changed. I'm not sure.
Lake County, no, he's incorrect, and that's the problem. He was not pew-pewed in the back. Lake County put out an official statement saying that he was shot once in the abdomen.
Yeah, that was the official statement. I'm not sure. I did hear family members say he was shot in the back. Although, like you said, I did hear the official statement that said he was shot once in the abdomen. For you dumb niggas, that's the stomach. You know, that's the gut. You know what I mean?
So, but let's play devil's advocate, because what a lot of people don't realize too is, all right, you're gonna say he was shot in the back. Even if he was shot in the back, it could have been he was in possession of a knife and he was charging someone, and the officer made a split-second decision to use deadly force. If that was the case, I'm just throwing a scenario out where that could
Regina
be
makes a good
justified.
point, because you said we don't know his behavior or background. She says they didn't know his behavior or background before they shot him. So I'm going to do her. If it can't make a difference after, you go ahead. Go ahead. She makes a good point.
There's information that I'm aware of. I'm not gonna say it, because
I'm gonna give you another goddamn book. You out here holding out.
Got you, man. Now with certain things.
This thing got the motherfucking juice.
What if the officers in that area were familiar with him? I'm not saying they were, but what if they were familiar with him? What if they've had several encounters with him?
They were violent?
I don't know.
What he had a gun? That's what you're saying? They had some instances where he's a known gun carrier? You saying that could be the case?
Is he? These are all questions.
Hey,
these are all questions that they're going to be.
You know what I'm saying? But too, I didn't want the answers. You know what I mean? Not yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to ask some questions.
Yeah. You know, and I get it. You know, at the end of the day, anytime there's a situation where we have an officer that shoots someone that looks like us and that person is passed, and let's be real, it's a white officer, black victim or suspect, it's always going to be emotional and traumatic. However, we got to put that aside and think logically, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's been too many times people have said, oh, this was this, and that, and then throughout the investigation, we find out a bunch of information, and then people are quiet now.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, oh, he was this, and that. Come to find out, he had felony warrants, and the officers were already they knew about that beforehand. He was in possession of something, and they've had history with him, and every time they've dealt with him, it was violent. I'm not saying that that's the case with this gentleman here, but there's been plenty of situations where that's what's transpired, and we get so emotional and we just run with it, and we're not being objective.
Yeah, you are correct about that, because way back in the day, they would have you labeled, and I was labeled as armed and dangerous. So people are often like, if I get pulled over, if I go to jail, people would say, "Man, why they treat you like that?" But they didn't know that I was labeled as a dangerous criminal. So you know, when I go to jail, it's 4th floor. If I go to 33rd, if I go to Seminole County, it's solitary confinement, because they had me labeled as a violent person. You know what I mean?
And prior to that, it's like, all right, if an officer is dealing with you, right, and he's requesting for backup, or the call for service comes in and your information pops up, they already know, all right, damn, all right, he armed, all right, cool. You know what I mean? And you have to think that they're approaching the situation in a certain mindset. And again, I'm not here to justify anything. I want people to start thinking logically and start learning how these things go, right? This is not a matter of justification or not. This is a matter of education, right? When there's a use of force situation that happens, there's a lot of questions, right, that need to be answered, and you have to remain objective, because if not, and you're leading with emotions, you're gonna miss things, right? And that's just not how this goes.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like I said, I gotta agree with you that oftentimes these calls, and you know, your name can have a little more weight in the violent aspect than others. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
they said the officer was black. She said they don't know how true that is. I don't know either. What do you know about that? Was it a black officer?
Lake County doesn't have that many black deputies. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. It was that one. It was that one nigga. He shot him. The one they got.
And if he was black,
he's still white. He got the badge on. The black cop worse than the white cop. What ended up being say? Black police showing out for the white cop.
But that's not always the case, though. But I've seen it and I've experienced it, but that's not always the case, though. We
Virginia said
definitely
it's not the
need.
right cop. We know the history of Lake County. Lake County do got a mean history. You know what I'm saying? You know, goddamn. You know, Lake County.
Just like I talk about, you know, people, law enforcement agencies, they do not do a good job with communicating when situations like this happen, right? Communicating to our community, right? Relaying information and or educating, making the attempts to educate the public, connect with the public, be transparent. You know what I mean? And a lot of times showing empathy and sympathy goes a very long way, right? You know, I do notice that across the country there has been a shift in how they do their press releases and stuff like that, versus how it was, let's say, 5 years ago, where you wouldn't hear, you know, prayers to the family. It was whatever transpired, and that was it. You know what I mean?
She says, Nikki says, let's be real. Following SOP will prevent the emotional reaction of people. The officers have failed by not making sure the body cameras was on and recording. It protects the public and the officers, but now the family has nothing. They have the right to be emotional. That is their loved one. Nikki makes a great point. Round of applause for Nikki.
No, yeah, Nick, yeah.
Applause. Go ahead.
Nikki, I'm in agreement with you on that. When I'm saying not to be emotional, I mean with our judgment, with when we're analyzing this situation, and whatever emotions that you feel, you're running with that, and that is the logic or the justification that we are operating under. You know what I mean? We have to be able to, you know, stop. I know it's not easy, but look at things from a logical and lawful perspective, right? But I do agree with you on that. The bigger question is, sometimes too, with agencies and the body cam, right? There's like all right, if something has transpired, let's say I was late to hit the body cam, it goes back, let's say 30 seconds, a minute. So we don't know how Lake County has theirs set up. So again, every agency is going to be different. So these are all questions that I'm sure are going to be asked and or answered.
Well, I think the question is going to be asked, well, how can we ensure that we're getting the correct answers? Like Regina said, dead man tells no tales. Only people know what actually happened is the dead guy and the officer. And I'm sure the officer's not going to say, hey, God, now I kind of fucked up. And niggas running away.
When the CSI personnel come out to do their investigation too, I know a lot of people say dead men tell no tales, but based on the investigation that they put together, when they reconstruct things, they do give some information, right? It does help paint a picture. But hopefully there were witnesses out there, maybe surveillance video from some homes, ring cameras, things of that nature, and then they'll be able to put it all together, reconstruct it, and then provide some information.
Yeah.
But they should have, it would have been, it would have been great if he had his body cam on. Now, we can see what transpired from the moment he arrived and then until the force was used. And we don't have any of that.
How about this? Nita says if deadly force is needed, there should not be any questions lingering. It should be a clear explanation, no excuses.
Okay, but they did provide an explanation in their statement. They said,
give that explanation again.
Lake County said that the officer arrived. The victim, Mr. Reed, was shot once in the abdomen, and that was it. And they recovered a knife.
And I guess the explanation for the body camera not being on is that he was in the area and just basically reacted and forgot to turn it on.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He arrived on scene. He was in the area. He arrived on scene, and he didn't activate his lights or his body camera.
Yeah. Some people ask if any ring cameras or anything in the upcoming days. It may be some ring camera footage showing up, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the shit was in the hood. You niggas don't got no ring cameras. and then you got a Ring camera in, your battery dead, the shit ain't recording, you ain't paid the subscription, it's a fake Ring camera, you trying to trick somebody and make that. Come on now. We know you need, hey, niggas, get your Ring cameras updated, goddamn it. I got mine works, goddamn, and I would turn it over to the authorities. Whenever something happens, goddamn, I'm gonna be the good citizen and give it up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Apparently there was people there, so hopefully people tell the truth, right? That's number one. Tell the truth, and they're able to reconstruct what happened based on the witnesses and their statements, and we can get a clear picture of what transpired when the deputy made contact with Mr. Reed.
They said the family is left, Kerry Fenora says, a family is left with no answers, no proof. It's just their words against a man who can't speak on what occurred. Then adding Polo, this shit disaster. Can we know fuck Polo, goddammit? I think everybody here agrees, including Black Jesus, can say, damn that nigga Polo out here trying to, you would definitely be arguing with him if he was on here. He would be back to saying, hey, the police did it, they hiding the murder. He'll have all that shit to say.
I wouldn't even address that type of ignorance.
Yeah.
I agree, and it goes back to I would not be transparent or real if I don't acknowledge the history of law enforcement with Black communities. Right, that's another side I think law enforcement majority does not understand, nor do they are they cognitively aware that you literally have some people. There's a bunch of people in our society who experienced, right, the Jim Crow, who experienced the abuse at the hands of law enforcement 50 years ago, right? So
it ain't that long ago now.
No, I know. I'm just talking about, because people like to say, "Oh, it's not like what it was." Okay, that may or may not be true. Everyone's perspective is different. However, there are people that legitimately went through hell in the 50, 60 years ago, and they're still alive, right? So we cannot dismiss the fact that law enforcement does have a history. So when things like this happen, it only adds to the division and the distrust. That's why, like, for example, you got like Polk County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Grady Judd. None of his deputies have body cams. He fights against having body cams. It is 2026 and they don't have body cams. To me, that's problematic. In this day and age, Polk County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, one girl actually here, she said they weren't trying to render aid in the body cam footage. I'm trying to pull that back up. I really didn't pay close attention to that. I don't know what type of aid that they weren't rendering or what we expected to render. You got any knowledge of that?
Apparently the one video that was briefly shown, you do see the officers providing aid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know the time frame from the moment he was shot till they actually provided aid. We also have to take in consideration if he was shot and let's just say allegedly he was in possession of a weapon and this deputy's by himself, he might wait for backup, and then when backup arrives and then they make an approach, so that it could again, there's so many different questions. So I don't know, but in that video that was released after, it does show I believe a deputy or two providing first.
Virginia Hill says Lake County has a history of killing Black men, and she speaks to Groveland 4.
Yeah.
But we can get even earlier than that, Regina. Back in around 2019, we had them coming under fire for it was like 19. I don't know. It's several over 15 officers, deputies caught up in on the social media thing when they were sharing racist comments and things of that nature. That was like in 2019, so the police department of, the sheriff's department out there in Lake County don't have the best look. And this looks even worse when you don't turn on the body camera after the Groveland 4, after the racist situation in 2019. at the same time, because I think the racist comments or the derogatory comments came after Governor DeSantis, for you good old niggas who voted for Governor DeSantis and Donald Trump, when he forgave, or whatever the fuck he did, and forgave and pardoned them goddamn boys. Then a lot of racist comments.
Yeah, it was June 2019. It was 16. It was 16 deputies that were being investigated.
Yeah, I know I saw it. It flipped off my screen, so I didn't have the number. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so 16. I know it was in the teens. You know what I mean? So they'll have a good history of with the black folks out there. So I don't blame black folks for raising hell in this situation.
I get the frustration, you know, and that the responsibility is on
on the
sheriff.
officer.
It's on the sheriff to make sure that there is transparency and you know things like this don't happen.
Natalie Davis says, "I am pro-police. But there are some amazing cops who do great work, but the case and records I'm currently reviewing for my family shows me exactly why some officers can't be trusted. The bad ones make it bad for others because people like me and you can't say for sure that we will be protected or have our case handled properly when they arrive on the scene." Natalie, I will have to agree with you there. You know what I mean? Let's give a round of applause to Natalie. Go ahead.
I actually recorded a video today that I didn't put out, but I'll put it out tomorrow. I had someone that she lives in a predominantly where she's at. She's up in a particular county, not too far from here, where law enforcement is predominantly white. And it just what this young lady just said reiterates what transpired yesterday. She had someone point a gun at her. She calls 911. The officer doesn't even show up. She waits. He calls her on the phone and pretty much tells her it's not that big of a deal. And then that was it. Wow. She has a video of the end of the halfway of the incident, halfway to the end. Like she didn't get like the first 30
the
seconds.
White man pulled the gun?
No, it was a white lady, older lady, and she was black. And she called and she said, "Hey, this lady, road rage in the parking lot. She pointed a gun at me. They didn't show up on scene. She waited for about 45 minutes. No one showed up. They called her though, and the officer spoke to her and kind of just told her, well, it's not that big of a deal. And then that was it. I don't see a crime there. And that was it." Yeah. She posted on social media. Then a bunch of people started tagging me, and I know her. So I reached out to her and I said, she showed me the videos all that she had. And I said, no, absolutely. This appears to be, an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. You could clearly see the gun right there. Right. Mm-hmm. So what you need to do is go back to the station. She went up to the station and I just had to tell her what to do.
Was it Marion County? Valentina J says, sounds like it happened in Marion County. Well, look at that. Somebody hit FME Polo and tell him we got a case right in his own backyard, needs some justice, while he flying around the Fort Lauderdale, while he jumping around the goddamn Leesburg, he jumping around to Georgia. We got some shit going on right from the Motel 6 that he's staying in. If he just stick his head out, my bad, the Hojo, if he just stick his head out there, Howard Johnson, and look around the street, we got an open case right here in Marion County. Valentina J, I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that because we got a new case.
Marion County has and this is not the first time that I've had people from out there that I know call me about situations and I had to help them behind the scenes and educate them on their rights, like what to do. Like, I don't care what that officer's telling you, go ask for a sergeant, right? All right, ask for a sergeant, explain how you explain the situation to me, and let's see what the sergeant said. So she speaks to a sergeant, and then the sergeant just kind of tells her, well, here's what we'll do. We'll just get the information and then we'll just send everything to the state attorney's office.
Right. And that's what Natalie just said. Natalie, I agree. She doesn't know she needs to go to the state attorney to the words right out your mouth. That's crazy and disturbing for our people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now that our people are crazy to I said this whole like that when I bring up this goddamn charlatan right here, this wig selling activist, the Martin Luther King of wigs, the goddamn MLK of not okay, Polo. Our people are crazy to run to the internet and listen to some. Even me, shit, don't listen to me. Goddamn it, take your ass like that to the state attorney. I'm just a nigga who's sharing my opinion. Black Jesus.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, and I had to educate her on what to do. And then just even listening to how the sergeant was talking to her, you know, I could see why the officer did what he did because the sergeant was just trying to like, all right, you know, he wasn't really trying to hear what she was saying until I was telling her what to ask. And then his tone, and what he was saying started to change. And then we got to a resolution where they were, you know, they got her to write a statement and do all that. And then, you know, because she wanted to pursue charges, you know, if someone points a gun at you, you know, you want to ask questions. Are you okay? Were you in fear for your life? And they didn't do any of that. It was just they heard what she said and they were like, oh, well, we don't think, you know, we don't think it's anything. You'll be all right. You don't have anything to worry about. And she's like, well, yeah, I do. I'm wearing my shirt that says my job, you know. So let's just say this lady wanted to find me, she could find me, right? And then not only that, this person has had other issues with other people in the community, and you know the agency has failed. So yeah, we need to be proactive. You know, if you feel like you're dealing with an officer that's not providing the service or helping you in that manner, always ask for a sergeant. If not, go to the state attorney's office.
Yeah, and I'm a pro police guy here, but you guys will still find out I got some problems and issues with local law enforcement. I just don't tend to share them on social media because I have real life problems with real life officers. I don't need dickhead opinions or Facebook lawyers, you know, handling my case. You know what I mean? I got to handle it for real. This is real life. So I suggest anyone who's really going through something in real life, man, get your attorney. It's okay to speak on it if you want to speak on it, if you want to bring awareness. Awareness is always good, especially in cases like this. I do think you should bring awareness, and sometimes, you know, make sure when you're bringing that awareness, you got Ben Crump in your goddamn corner and not Ben Gay. You know what I'm saying? In your goddamn corner. You know what I mean? You know,
but yeah, our people, man, let's do that. I hope the family gets answers because at the end of the day, they did lose a loved one. You know what I mean? Regardless of who he was or whatever, right? They lost a loved one. They need answers, you know, and hopefully they can get that.
Yeah, and like I said, you make good points. Like I say, so half of me good. I agree with you. The points you made about the officer, the law, you know, I thought about all that, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you just want to be a nigga, you know? So I fuck all that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, and that's just me being honest that don't think I don't understand what you're saying. But fuck all that, you know what I'm saying?
No, I get it, right? You know, I've been there before myself. Like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. But then I gotta calm down and, you know, all right, think logically. All right, yeah, you know what? All right, cool. I don't have these answers. None of us have these answers. We have to wait because those answers could make or break the situation, right? We're thinking it's this.
That's my problem with that, Chris. They expect me to wait to get the answers. They expect me to make the logical decisions. When I've seen them make the illogical decisions, I used to go back as far as Rodney King, Trayvon Martin, and I see them make the illogical conclusion when faced with the facts. Why should I then wait and let me be smart? Bitch, I want to be dumb too. When you motherfuckers are dumb about you know what I'm saying? When you dumb motherfucker, even when you let Casey Anthony off, goddamn it, bitch, I want to be Casey Anthony jury dumb. I want to be goddamn George Zimmerman jury dumb. Nah, bitch, I don't want to hear that shit. Nope. What about the Cab? He did it.
Yeah.
So that's the part of people want to say, you know, why do I got to be the responsible? You know what I mean? It's like this is gonna be a good joke for you. But you can feel me here. It's like when you come in to the girl house and you done been there. She got 2-3 kids over there, and she wants you to wear the rubber. Well, bitch, why I got to wear the goddamn rubber? Shit, you got 3. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 motherfucking kids in here. One of these motherfuckers still in diapers. Why I got to put the motherfucking condom on? You know what I mean? Don't ask me to be the responsible guy. You You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I feel about, this justice system. And goddamn, I want to roll on too. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Man, you crazy.
Hey, but facts are, you don't been there. Now it's related. Now you're like, this nigga got a motherfucking point. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
But yeah, it's again, it's not easy, man. And for us, because what it does feel like is we have to again take this type of situation or treatment and like just take it, right? And I get it. That's why, like, for me, I think it's very important for agencies to, try to get try to be thorough and quick to get that information out, so that way people can see for themselves. Is it
Yeah.
this or is it that? Because the longer it stays hidden or you're not providing information, people are running with whatever they have in their mind, and then you have some people that are acting out on it, right? Get the information, be transparent, put it out there, you know. And there are times, you've seen situations where they're like, oh, well, we're going to need time, it's going to take months. Nah, bro, because what we've seen is if it was an officer that was hurt or they needed to get information out very
They get
quickly,
that same day.
they've demonstrated that they can do that. So this is what the community is seeing. They're seeing that, all right, if it was an officer that got hurt or something was going on, you guys are able to put information out very quickly. But when it's the people, sometimes that's not the case, right? And that's the other frustrating part that the community sees. And when these situations happen, it just creates further division and distrust and amongst other things. So, do the investigation, present what you have, and then just keep updating the people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that's very important, right? It doesn't matter whether it's going to show justification or not. Put the relevant information out there so people can see. You're feeding them, you're giving them information, and then whatever they do with it, that's on them. But you've done your due diligence, you've provided that information, you've been transparent, and you've updated them.
Yeah, Natalie Davis said you're right on the money, Natalie. As she said earlier, I too have family in law enforcement. I have a deep history of law enforcement. Many people don't know that. People just know me. If you kind of know me, you don't know. My family is half on this side serving your food and half of them receiving the food. You know what I mean? It can go either way in my family. Either gonna be the police or get arrested by the police. You know what I mean? So my family.
Real quick, Nikki Smith, shoot me a DM.
Nikki Smith, the Davis family is still waiting on evidence from the Gainesville Police Department. There's probably a guy who can help you. It says shoot him a DM. Ortiz has the right things to do. But yeah, man. Hey, let me see what we got here.
Let me see. I'll be on another minute or two, and then I got.
Yeah. I'm about to get off myself. It's Thursday night. It's a busy Friday. I got to pay some bills. The 15th just passed. You know what I mean? Besides pay them bills, Chris, you paid them bills yet? 15th?
Yeah. You know what it is. Yeah,
15th, huh?
Sometimes you gotta do something strange for a little change. But hey, it is what it is.
At both houses, huh? At both. Let me get your ass in trouble. At both houses, you pay both rents now. Everybody good. Hey, I'm fucking with you, man. All right, y'all. We gonna get out of here.
Y'all be safe.
Yeah, we get some more information, man. We'll be back, y'all. With facts, not rumors. And before I got here, don't forget to put in your $25 and get your wig fixed. FMA Polo, trolls. All right, y'all. See y'all next time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. Who knows? Peace.